I felt on my hip was excess. Sasa kila mtu ameshanga kwani what happened? Ilifika sasa sitaki Mungu tena, and my mom was so prayerful. She would come and pray. I'm like, "Mom, go pray outside. If God is there, why am I going through this pain?"
And you were young?
I was young.
Oh.
And I couldn't
It's
even
okay.
feel that leg at that time. And now my life, I knew my life had changed. I knew I was never going back to school. I knew I could not play no more with my friends, and I knew that was the end of me.
A warm welcome to this beautiful channel once again. It is just an awesome thing. Today we are having a new mic, not that. Anyway, we are having a beautiful lady before us today that is going to give us a very beautiful story. The lady actually really travels very far. Is it Kericho?
Yes.
Nice. She's coming from Kericho with a very beautiful story. You can see somebody out there, and if you do not understand her story or his story, you might think that she or he's just like you. Now, here we are. I'm really welcoming you once again to this Real and Raw Talk. These are we are going to be real, and because you're going to make it as a talk, I hope you're going to enjoy this as other people out there are going to enjoy this. Anyway, you look so beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mercy, for having me in your show. I'm glad, I'm happy. Nimefurahi sana kuja hapa. My name is Doris Sambu from Kericho County. Yes. Nimefurahia kuja hapa kushare story yangu. It's an inspiring story, it's an encouraging story, it's a touching story, and I want people to listen to it and know what happens. Yeah.
Now, Doris, when somebody when somebody looks at you, you are so beautiful, and everything, you look healthy.
Yeah.
So how can you tell us that maybe you are having some touching stories inside you, and yet you look beautiful even more than the people who will be viewing the story?
And that's why you normally say do not judge a book by its cover.
Okay.
Yeah. Many people won't understand until you meet me. When I'm seated like this, you won't know, but when I stand and walk, you'll realize that I'm a PWD person, meaning that I'm a person living with disability.
So if right now you start walking, will actually...
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, now tell us.
First of all, I come from a large family of 12 kids. I'm the last born.
That is not large.
It is.
Can you compare yourself with the Kuku Danger?
Oh no. Okay. So yeah, I'm the last born, and you can see I've been pampered, I've been taken care of. Otherwise, I'll not be looking this pretty.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So I let me just go to the details. I started getting sick on my leg when I was almost joining class 6.
Okay.
So ilikuwa during December holidays. Tumekuja home. I was on a boarding school, and it just started like a simple thing. So unajua mimi nilikuanga ule mtu as a last born, alafu sasa I have a lot of sisters wamegrow, so my neighbors wangu walikuwa vijana, so I used to pepeta ball mbaya sana. Okay. Yeah, so I was this jovial girl. So one night during December holidays, nikilala kwa room yangu, I felt pain on my hip. And then I went to my mom's room, nikamwambia, "Mom, it's like na feel pain on my hip." Akaniambia, "We unapenda mchezo sana, labda umeumia kiasi." Then akanipea painkillers, na there is this robe, the Vicks, tuka apply. Then I went to sleep.
If you talk about robe, that one you can guess your age anyway.
I think Vicks, yeah.
These days tunatumia, how do you call this one?
The whatever.
These days we are having another one.
Kuna deep heat, whatever.
Yes. Now for the cool kids, we use the deep heat anyway.
Excuse me. Okay. So we applied, and then nikarudi kwa room yangu. The following morning it was worse. Okay. Unajua sijai fanya nini. I was taken to a nearby hospital. I don't want to mention the name of the hospital, okay, because I'll just say it later, okay, the reason why. So when I was taken to this hospital, they were like, it's something simple, Doris. And then we had this doctor who knew our family, and he was like, Doris, you're okay, you'll be better. Then I was given painkillers and brought back home. The following morning now, I couldn't even stand on my own. I couldn't even, nisingewekwa kwa pikipiki ama kuwekwa kwa gari nibebwe ama kubebwa kwa mgongo, because the pain I felt on my hip was excess. Sasa kila mtu ameshangaa, kwani what happened? And I was okay. You know, ilianza tu kimchezo, you know. So when I was taken back to the hospital, they took an x-ray. The hospital took an x-ray and found out they hawakupata anything, you know. And then when waliona it's serious, they had to admit me. So you know what? That is what we call now misdiagnosis. I was misdiagnosed. They were treating something in hawajui ni nini wana treat, you know. So the more I stay in the hospital, the more ina get worse. The more mguu inafura on my hip, but sasa hakuna wound. Then we stayed there for like 2 weeks. The more I stayed, sasa akili hata haijatuambia, yani akina mama wajafikiria tutoe mtoto tumpeleka hospitali nyingine. So now that hata sijai kuwa sick, sijai vunjika or something. Then one day, it was just God. This doctor, alikuwa anaitwa Dr. Ongeri. He was a kisi. Na alikuwa anaenda rounds. So unajuanga kuna time ma doctors wanaendanga rounds the wards. Akasema, okay, can I get a syringe? Akachukua ile syringe, then akanidunga kwa hip and pulled. Pass. Remember, there is no wound. Kumbe all this time, naumia na ndani, kuna pass. Wacha sasa, hiyo hospitali then haikuwa developed. I was taken to a theater. I remember my sister fainting, called Dorothy. Ali faint because I think nilidungwa ile ya kukua numb, then hawakungoja hiyo dawa ifanye. So it was like a surgery nikiwa na feel.
Okay.
You remember the pain I felt?
Sorry.
So they created a wound and then they used just to wash it. So my mom was like, washapata shida ni nini? Kumbe the more we stay there, napelekwa theater every day, the pain is like that. I remember my mom, my sister used to cry, my brothers used to cry, everyone used to cry. Yani wale watu wanakujanga kuniona tu wanalia because theater napelekwa, the pain is the same. Now I can't even step anymore. Luckily, I have a cousin who is a doctor in Kenyatta, and he was like, Doris bado wako hospitali? My mom was like, yeah, she's still in the hospital. Kwani imekuwa worse? My mom was like, I'm telling you, it's even worse. Hii time yote tumekuwa tukitreat, washatengeneza wound, and my cousin was like, no, you could have told me, bring Doris to Nairobi. Being brought to Nairobi, sasa hiyo kutravel ndo worse. Sasa I couldn't even, unaona ile gari ki. So we had to look for a big car enye naeza lalishwa hivi. Then my late cousin called Mike, ndio alikuwa ananishikilia hiyo mguu kwanza ikifika kwa bump. You know the pain. I used to scream. Yani watu in that area, I come from Londiani. Okay. Watu in that area wakati napandishwa gari wanashanga, kwani Doris, what happened to Doris? Sijuzi amekuwa tu huku akifanya shopping na nini huku junction akituma. Then people are like, we don't know. I was brought to Kenyatta. My cousin akatushughulikia. They took an x-ray and found out that my hip bone had cracked. And I had to be admitted. And now ilikuwa imefika time sasa they need to do a major operation. I remember my mom akiambiwa sign, you know ile signing unaambiwa 50% akufe.
Yeah.
So I was like, doctor, you know what? I want to go to the theater, mutoe hiyo mguu. Yani the pain ilikuwa imenifikisha that extent, like mtoe tu hiyo mguu. I don't want that leg anymore. And then ilifika sasa sitaki Mungu tena. And my mom was so prayerful. She would come and pray. I'm like, Mom, go pray outside. If God is there, why am I going through this pain?
And you were young?
I was young. And I was like, why would God really, yani mbona nipitie hii pain? Kwani what did I do? You know? So I remember nikipelekwa theater, my mom was like, msikate mguu mtoto wangu. And then my cousin was the one who signed the theater thing. Because yeye ni daktari anajua she'll be okay, you know. But for me, sikuwa nataka tena hiyo mguu. I want the pain to go. Like it was so, unaona ile pain umai feel you can't eat. You can't, nilikuwa nimekonda designing. Acha kuniona sahi, I have chicks. I don't know why they didn't take the photos, or they took hizo times, I think, I don't know. They took me to the theater and they did an operation. Luckily, it was a successful operation. Then I stayed in Kenyatta for 3 good months. I want to thank my cousin because everything I did kwa bed. Unajua Kenyatta, you are not huwezi chungwa. So I want to thank, actually my mom is late. We lost her 2019.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, and I want to thank my sister Dorothy. She was always there, and all of my family was there for me, and my cousin Daktari Richard was there. You can imagine you are doing everything. Unatumia poti. You know that's nini. So it was tough, but they didn't give up on me, and despite me wakati nilikuwa give up, I knew mi nilikuwa najuanga I'll die, because the pain nilikuwa nayo, it was so, yani ilikuwa so big. Nilikuwa najua this sickness is going to kill me, yeah, and luckily nilisurvive. Sasa Kenya ilini hit, nishatoka theater, I was like okay, so mguu yangu bado iko, you know, ile yenye unashtuka umetoka theater and you are like, oh, they didn't take it off and the pain is normal. But now sasa kukaa hospitali for 3 months, unadischargiwa, unajaribu kustep, you know, ile yenye unatolewa sasa kwa bed, you are trying to step like before and you can't even step.
Oh.
And I couldn't
It's
even
okay.
feel that leg at that time. And now my life, I knew my life had changed. I knew I was never going back to school. I knew I could not play no more with my friends, and I knew that was the end of me. So I was discharged on wheelchair, and I had given up. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. At times it's okay. Actually, it's okay to get tired. Yeah, it's okay to get tired, and it's okay to give up.
I had given up.
No,
you know.
Don't worry. But I hope everything right now is okay.
Yeah, everything now is okay.
Yeah. So get a consolation from there. Like
Yeah.
it was before, right now you're okay.
Yeah, I think I'm also crying of joy, because I didn't think that I will ever step again, you know.
Yeah, sure.
So being on wheelchair, I was brought to Ongata Rongai at my nikakaa na kazini yangu. So he didn't want me to go home, because alijua nikienda nyumbani fisho zitaisha na singewahi step. So he said nakaa na Doris kwangu na nataka aendelee na fishes akiwa hapa. So we had a doctor who used to come. Yani nilikuwa naona huyo daktari na shangaa like mbona anakuja, haoni siwezi tembea tena. You know, you are just seated there and you are like, why is this doctor? And this doctor will come and tell me, Doris, you know you are so pretty. Doris, you know you are so pretty. Yani hiyo kitu alikuwa anashinda akiniambia, I'll never give up on you. A pretty lady like you have to step. You have to stand up. And I was like, just give up. I'm never going to stand. Sitawahi simama. This is my life. Napenda masomo. Mimi ni ule mtu ningekuwa namba 2 shule na nalia. So nilikuwa napenda masomo, and he was like, masomo yako utarudi shule, and you're not going to a special school. You are going to a school just like any other person, just the way you were before. So he never gave up. Every time mamuona tu ameingia kwa gate nachoka. Like, yani huyu daktari give up. Ananiambia, Doris, I want you to stand. Just move even your finger, I'll go. So angekuja ananiambia, you are so pretty. Just move your finger, I'll go. So whenever he's not around, I'm like, he's going to come tomorrow anyway. So I used to try it on myself. I'm like, oh God, I used to cry. When people are asleep, I'm crying. Like, why are they not giving up on me? And then I realized that I could move that finger. Oh, I realized, oh, so my leg bado iko alive. The following day anakuja ananiambia, oh my God, you can move it, you see? So he gave me hope, and he was there telling me, you are pretty. That was the words I can remember. You are pretty, Doris, you can do this. You are bright and you are going back to school.
Sure.
And I stayed there, and it took like almost some years before I got back to normal, yeah? So he didn't give up. Anakuja, nikaachana na hiyo nini, natumia hiyo kitu kusongesha, then nikaanza kustep on my own. Then ananiambia, make one step. Unaona ile yenye kukaa tena kwa bed for a very long time without walking, kumbe mguu inaweza kuwa ina shake. So that was maybe the reason why I could not walk again.
No.
Yeah.
Now you are out of the hospital.
Yeah.
You are now back home.
Yeah.
Now just tell me the experience, like now you are home, and at least now you are able to move your legs, your hands, like the same way the daktari used to tell you, right?
Yeah.
Now, what was the experience from there? Like, how was it?
Now the reality hit me. When I started walking, I realized I could not walk like before. I knew I was a person living with disability. And let me tell you, everything nilieka hapa, nilijua I can't do anything. Siezi osha vyombo, siezi jipikia, siezi fanya anything. Now I'm a person living with disability. Don't send me anywhere. That was what and then you know the motherly love. Your mom, and then when venye nilianza kutembea, mom was like, I have to go with her home. So I went home. And my cousin realized sijarudi shule. He came back home, daktari, he's called Richard. He came back home and he's like, kwa nini Doris hajarudi shule na ashatembea? Mom was like, you know what? We need to open, tunafaa kumfungulia hata boutique. Mtoto sasa tena, unajua venye ako sasa, ameanza kulimp. And then my cousin was like, I'm taking Doris with me. She's going back to school. She's bright. My mom was like, how will she survive in school like this? And
but then which, like, you were in which class?
I was now to join class 6.
Okay.
But do you know niliruka class 6 nikaenda class 7 na nikakuwa index 1 class 8 na yeah. But now my cousin came home na akaambia mom, wachana na hata hiyo kusema nachukua Doris. Nataka saa hii anipikie chai yeye mwenyewe. Mom was like, someone else can do that. You know that motherly love.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, kwani huyu mtu aone sasa mimi ni person living with disability? Mbona ananituma? Then my cousin was like, sikunywi chai ya mtu yeyote Doris. So I went there crying. Nikapika chai nikamletea, akaambia mom, you see she can do it. So alifaa, si eti juu alikuwa ananichukia, but alikuwa ananitakia maisha mazuri. Alinitoa nyumbani na akanipeleka shule, nikafanya class 8, nikafanya high school, nimekuja Nairobi, nilikuja Nairobi nikafanya sasa, nikaingia university.
Okay.
Yes, I went to Multimedia University.
Oh, nice.
Yes. And then nika study my courses, and then nika graduate, and he was like, you see, you can do it.
Okay.
Yeah. So challenges has been many. Like losing friends is one of them.
Now, at what time did you realize now, I mean, the challenges started hitting you? Because maybe by the time you're still young, you are under your parents, you are under your cousins, all those people that you are talking about.
Yeah.
Now, at what time now you realize now these challenges, now they started hitting you?
When I came to Nairobi now, to school, and then you know you are alone. No one to cook for you, no one to do what. Now you have to kukua na new friends, you know. And then I want to thank our friends that I met in Multimedia University. And let me tell you, all through, sikuwa nimejiaccept. Nilijichukia. Hiyo time yenye kazini yangu amenichukua sasa, I hated myself. Nimeenda shule yenye kila mtu ako normal. Sioni person with disability in that school. And I'm here limping, everyone is looking at you. Singeweza hata kutembea mbele ya watu. Like nilikuwa nangoja kila mtu aende, then I start walking. Hiyo kitu fia nilikuja nayo mpaka nikiwa high school, mpaka nikifika university.
Okay.
Kufika university nilipata marafiki wazuri, let me tell you. Wenye walikuwa wananiambia, Doris, leo tunatembea mpaka Ronga. From Multimedia University gate to Ronga is not far. So nilikuwa naambia, amuoni mimi siezi.
Like pia inalingana pia ulikuwa umebembele. Okay.
Nilijichukia like at that time hata nasema, why am I even alive? Yani nilikuwa nianze kulimp hivi, because now at first I thought maybe itakuja i-change. But it didn't change. Mpaka sasa I'm still limping. So nilijichukia, and luckily I found a friend called Trish Mativo.
Okay.
Trish Mativo was a student. She graduated last year. Alitoka Multimedia University. She is a person living with disability. She's driving. She's a brand ambassador. Doris, kuna kitu 2020, that was 2020 when I was at KWS doing my...
Okay. Let me cut you short. Now, but before you met the lady.
Yeah.
Hapa katikati. Are you married?
No.
Okay, hapa katikati, maybe there's some, maybe, you know, there are men, there are women, maybe there's some ladies who like maybe wanted to associate with you.
Yeah.
And most probably at your age is that age that maybe you will have loved to date.
Yeah.
Now just tell us, how did you face that challenge?
Okay, when I was in campus, I dated this guy, and we dated like for almost 3 years. And when he graduated mbele yangu, and we were looking for a job together, mi nilimpenda hata kama ana job, you know. We stayed together like hiyo time yote. Then he went, wakati tulisaka job, akapata job somewhere. He went there. Then boom, akapea msichana wenyewe ball. Nilikuja kurealize baadaye that this guy has moved on.
Was it because of your disability or was it because ni kama ile tabia ya wanaume wa kitambo wa kawaida?
I think I want to talk about the second relationship. Huyu akaenda tu hivyo. So I thought maybe it's because of that. Then I tried. I stayed for some time without dating. I got this guy. He's a gospel artist. And there was a time I felt like he was cheating on me. And then we had to do a prank on him with a friend of mine, with my friends. You know, my friends care, you know. And we found out that he was really cheating. So when I realized that, I asked him, why do that? Do you know what he told me? You know, you are a person living with disability. You're not even flexible for me.
Flexible? Like,
I don't know what he meant, but I think he meant like I'm not flexible in terms of maybe he can't be seen with me. He can't do anything the way, you know, when you have disability, when you are in bed, actually, let's say, for instance.
Because when somebody is talking about the flexibility,
you can't be like all over, all those styles. There are these. I'm saying this because, but if you love someone, if it's good, it's good.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Okay.
I think he meant that way.
Okay.
And I remember, it was so bad. Like I cried and cried and cried. And you know, for me, even before starting dating, I hated men. Whenever you find me with friends, unapata nakatiwa.
Okay.
So I hated myself to an extent that I think nime push away a lot of men, thinking that they are all the same. Like there was a time nilikuwa nakatiwa naambia marafiki zangu, kwani hao watu hawajawaona? Mbona mimi na wameniona nikitembea na nyinyi, you know. Then my friends are like, Doris, you know, and I have these friends wenye ananiambia, Doris, you don't have any disability. Doris, you are okay. I have these friends who gives me that hope, who makes me smile every time. And I'm like, angenikatia. I think anacheza na mimi ama ni madharau. Unaona, that's how I took men. And it's so bad that I think I hated myself to such an extent that maybe I pushed people away who maybe would be good to me. Yeah. And I want to tell persons with disability out there that if you don't love yourself, first of all, start by loving yourself. Usipojipenda hakuna mtu huko nje atakupenda, my friend. Jipende. Show yourself love. Hata kama hauna disability. First thing, jipende. The moment unajipenda, the more una get like, hata ukirejectiwa, you don't think that maybe mtu ameni reject because of my disability. Ama uta feel that ile like, oh, is it because I'm like this? Na uta move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now apart from the maybe your dating life that has been like you felt all the, I mean, you experience all those challenges in life. Now, is there any other maybe like, apart from maybe job wise, you say that you already graduated?
Oh yeah.
Now, what are other things that maybe you are facing out here that are related to your
my condition.
Yeah, your condition.
So I want to talk about first, when I was enrolled at Multimedia University, they had no buildings. Hawakuwa na buildings zenye ziko na ramp. So you can imagine unaambiwa class ni first floor. Na mngangana nafika first floor, hakuna kiti. Mnaambiwa mtafute viti. You know, na si kila mtu atakuletea kiti.
I can relate that hustle.
And unaambia mtu nilete, anasema nimepata tu hii kwa hii class. Yani they don't understand that you need them to help you, and you are not there with those friends of yours at that time. Unajua kuna wale marafiki, you have them and they are not even in that class or but you find out that kuna wenye tu angejitolea waseme, Doris, hujapata kiti, someone would run, bring me a chair. Na maybe unajua ni first floor, you know. Sasa kuteremka tena kutafuta kiti and all that. Another thing is that I want to thank Multimedia University because I saw they've built classes with ramp. That means they are now inclusive of persons living with disability. Another thing is that there was a job nilipata ilikuwa fourth floor. Sasa nimeenda mara ya kwanza, mara ya pili I had to give up because napanda stairs, haina lift, haina ramp. So I think that watu waanze ku include persons with disability.
Actually, what I'm realizing is maybe going forward, We should start a company and we build these things
Ramps.
using the ramps.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think each and every person that is going to view this, because this is something that is going to be viewed globally, right? If any case, if you're a person who's living with maybe a disability, it is not an end to you.
Yeah.
Okay, my sister, just give us a parting shot. There's some people who would have loved to know something so deep, or something that maybe something that they've never known about, maybe people living with a disability. Just give us a parting shot on that, like whatever, something that can come out of you that we need to understand. I mean, that we need to know.
I want to tell people that when you are a person living with disability, ukienda kwa duka, sukari sahi 1 kg ni how much? 140, right? A person with disability atanunua na the same amount, 140. So I want to tell, I think they should identify. I want these people to be identified. Like for me nimefanya 2 courses. I'm a journalist and a PR person with no job. Let me tell you people, when you see persons with disability out there, try reaching out to them, ask them what they can do. I've seen people, I think you see the inability in them than the ability in them. Take for instance, when I was working with KWS, if not for COVID, I think they would have taken me. I was even working more than those people who are able, you know. And when you are a person with disability, when you get a job, you do that job with your might, knowing that huwezi enda kwa shamba ukalima. So you are doing it knowing that this is the thing that is giving me money on the table, that is feeding me, that is doing me, or that is giving me all these things. So, and another thing, kuna wazazi wako pale nje, wako na watoto wenye wako na cerebral palsy, wako na watoto wenye wako na disability, mumewaficha ndani ya nyumba. That is so bad. Let them come out here. You never know. Let me tell you, people with disability have abilities. Let me tell you, you rather have a disability physically than mentally. And there are so many, there are different types of disabilities. Mimi ni ile tu, I can't jump, I can't run, but I can do anything just like any other person. And for those who are coming to the lives of persons living with disability, thinking that you have to love them and then leave them. By the time mtu unanikatia, you know that I have the disability. Don't come to me knowing that you can't stay with me. Stay out there. If you are a lady and you've always seen this man with a disability, maybe ni juu ya do, then unamuendea pale hivyo, you are not there for them, you are not taking care of your men, people with disability, or you are not taking care of your lady. Shame on you people who've used persons with disabilities sexually. That is, I think, shame on you, and you should man up. And disability is a club, anyone can join. Accidents do happen, things happen. Like for me, I wasn't born with a disability. I'm saying this with bitterness because I've been through shit through this sickness, yeah. And I want to tell people, take care of these people. If you have a friend living with disability, be close to them. I'm smiling, but if not for friends that I'm close to them to share stories, to share things, I think I would have died with depression. So now, wazazi, let your kids come out. Si ati ni laana. Disability is not like ati ni kitu yenye mtu anaweza kufa. Look at me, for example. Let me be an inspiration to you. I'm a graduate. So, and I'm strong. That's why I call myself an iron lady. Oh my goodness, if I talk.
Oh my God.
Back to your show.
Okay. Actually, I think it is just something so wide, and I've really loved it. There is something that I've just learned from you as we conclude, that it is better you have a physical disability than a mental disability. Oh wow, I feel that is so nice. Let us thank God if you're having both, like if you are abled mentally and physically. I do not have anything to say because she has said it all. Actually, you should be subscribed to her channel. Tell us about your channel.
Okay,
Doris?
I have actually that channel I started because of accepting myself as a person living with disability. It's called the Doris Sambu Talk Show.
Okay.
Go subscribe, share, like, and comment.
Doris Sambu Talk Show. She also, I mean, that one can tell that she also talks.
Yeah.
Adios.